And I won't say what was said, but why you go reach out to somebody thinking they still gonna be your friend and they go help you again after you done doing what you done? Um, and well, that's just a little minor thing. So I'll see. They, my attorney's supposed to notify me today, um, to let me know what date they have for virtual hearing. In the state that she lives in and he lives in, to be able to have a court date. But I had other things going on too. Um, have you requested Melissa? If you have, baby, I'll let you go on up in the box, okay?
Hi.
Hey,
What I
sweetie.
have, yeah, what I have to say, I don't really want to say it on here, but I want to talk to you for sure because I got something to tell you that I can probably give you to help you.
Okay.
Because if
You
I
can,
if I say it on here, then it's probably just it'll get ruined. But I got something that will probably help you with this whole thing. Now that I know that this happened.
yeah. You know, when I spoke out the very first time ever about this, I was on your live.
Yep.
Well, actually, I was just strolling TikTok. It was on July 12th of 2023, the day that my brother passed away. And my daughter, she had started, you know, thinking something wasn't right for a little while. Because my daughter is very protected.
Robin, what she's talking about right now has nothing to do with you.
If Robin's in my life,
She is right now. And what
Robin,
she's talking about right now has nothing to do with you. It has to do with the two other individuals. Just so you know.
Robin, I ain't talking about you right now. You old just like I am. Fall for the foolishness if you want to. And don't report my life. I wasn't talking about you.
Okay. I'm assuring you right now she's talking about the other two other individuals, okay?
I am not talking about you. Your name was not even pulled up in this live right here. So why don't you exit to the left? Just exit to the left, Robin. Because you don't want me to start on you. Because I got stuff that you don't think nobody has. Okay? So just exit your little self right on in the other person's life. Keep sending her money. Keep lying to your children. Keep lying to your husband. The whole 9 yards. Now, you can exit yourself to the left. To the left. Because I ain't the one for you to be playing with. You the same age I am. Go play with somebody else. Better yet, I'll help you out.
She's not talking about you right now, though, Robin. She's talking about the other two that got papers.
I ain't brung that woman's name up this morning.
No,
Not
you
Nanny.
didn't. No, you didn't.
I ain't brung her name up. But if she wants me to, I sure will. I never brung her name up. But I can and come with facts and come with proof. So she needs to go sit her. I'm old. I can tell her, sit your old ass down. Because I ain't the one to play with. Anybody that knows me personally will tell you out their mouth, I am not the one to play with. Thank you, ma'am.
Absolutely, Mama Larson.
But you know, when I went in your live that night, I had just identified my brother's body where he passed away on an RTA bus going to dialysis. He had 4 heart monitors on him at the time he passed away. He had done been through 2 open heart surgeries. He done had knee replacements. He had a donor bone in his neck. Um, and he was on dialysis for 5 years. He would live with me a while, then he'd go to live with his daughter in Alabama a while, and then, he would go rent a place of his own, stay there for a little while. Well, I got the call. I had to go identify my brother. Well, while I went in to identify my brother, my daughter was going through my telephone. My little nosy 40-year-old daughter going through my telephone. And I love my child to death. But she's very protective because she knows what I went through, what I've been going through for years. And I don't get on this app and tell my business.
Nope, I
But
had never seen you before until that day, ever. And I've
but I
watched
do
Kenisha a long time.
I do have a deceased son. And in August it will be his birthday and he'll be 38. And in August my daughter will turn 41.
What days
So
in August?
my daughter's birthday is August 9th. My son's is August 28th.
No, mine's the 3rd.
And my father's is August the 3rd.
Oh, well, there we go. That's a great birthday.
And my aunt's is August 1st. But, I don't discuss my son on here because people like to run their mouth about other people's deceased children.
Yeah.
I've seen it in a lot of lives, so I don't talk about him. Not here. But I went in Melissa Sue's live. I was actually strolling TikTok, and my daughter had done been nosy all up in my phone. And my daughter, with her little nosy self, she was on TikTok too, and she was watching everywhere I went. And she seen I popped up in Melissa Sue's live and requested the box. Well, Melissa Sue didn't know, or anybody else that was sitting in Melissa Sue's live know me from anywhere. She was gracious enough to let me in her box. And what made me pop in her live, she brung up this certain individual. They was talking about this certain individual. And I requested a box. And I told them in that live, I did offer to buy the tent. I did offer. I did pay for DoorDash so many
And
times.
this was the night, if people can think back, that she was in Burger King.
She was in.
And she was requesting money. It was like $75. I can't remember what her reasoning was.
Yep. And well, the day before she was sitting in McDonald's
Mm-hmm.
and she was requesting money for cigarettes. Said she didn't have no money for cigarettes and they was trying to get a room.
Mm-hmm.
And CJ was doing that thing to try to get them a tent and get them sleeping bags, and Kyle had to have an air mattress, this, that, and the other, and the campground. And she needed money for cigarettes because she was out of cigarettes. I sent her $40 on her Cash App for her to go get her cigarettes, and she was supposed to get her something to eat, but that's when she got her cigarettes and she bought Kyle the vape
Mm-hmm.
that day. Another individual that was just in my life being nosy where I wasn't talking about her also sent her $40 that day.
And then isn't that's the same day that she got the set? I believe it was the 75 from Angie as well, right?
And then Angie
Yeah.
turns around and sends her 75
Yeah.
that same day. So I got in Melissa Sue's live and I was talking to the individuals that was in her life. And I stated that I had sent her $40 that day. I also stated that I had sent her money numerous times before, paid for motel rooms, plus sent cash to her through Cash App. Because see, she's got more Cash Apps than people knows that she has. And through PayPal. And when my daughter sat down and started totaling it up, it was $4,800. Well, I had changed Cash Apps
Can I ask in how long of a period that was again?
within a year and a half.
Okay.
Within a year and a half. Well, I had changed Cash Apps. But you can always go back and get the history of your old Cash App if you want to.
Yep.
Well, I didn't know that. Well, my little smart behind daughter, um, what's this? Now, once again, trying for a child, she has no business being a parent.
Oh. You must have your stuff filtered because I don't see that.
Um, it's Jessie.
Yeah, I think she's just speaking on what Kenisha's trying to do now, or what Kay is trying to do now. We'll just call her Kay.
Um,
Oh,
so,
yeah, it's Jay Nikki. She's good people.
so I didn't know that you could go back and pull your previous Cash App that you had before you made the new Cash App, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, my daughter, she's no dummy. She didn't go to college for nothing. She's not, she didn't go to college and become a professional in what she went to college for, to not have the knowledge to do the things she can do. Well, she brought it to my attorney's attention May 8th. Um, on May 8th. She had printed it out and all. And she brought it to my attorney's attention in the waiting room when we was waiting. And I'm gonna have to turn my camera kind of sideways because I'm gonna light a cigarette.
You're good.
Uh, she brought it to my attorney's attention, and uh, I was in total shock because I had not added that amount. I had even, I said, well, I ain't got no proof of it. There's no way, I can get that part. But then they are proof of it. So,
Another thing that you could have done too, as well, if you couldn't get that proof, you should have been able to get your bank statements where it came out of your bank account into your Cash App.
well, I didn't think about that either
Yeah.
until she had done pull when I went in on May 8th at
Yep.
9:45. And here's my daughter with a folder in her hand. Don't hand it to me. Hands it over to my attorney. So when he seen it and he handed me that, he said, why aren't you going after this also? I said, because I didn't think the old Cash App I had, I would be able to get receipts. And so they go do the virtual hearing. They're supposed to let me know the day, what day. But I came home and I always keep all my bank statements. And I climb up in the attic and I get down from the time period, the year I started TikTok until May 8th of this year. And I'm mad with myself. Why didn't I open my eyes up back then?
It's very easy to forget what you have given and seeing what she's put herself in that day and wanting to help her that day. I get it.
Well, see, I'm a person, I got a real soft heart. A real soft heart when it comes to young people.
Yeah.
And when they're you being told that neither of the parents are having anything to do with that young person because
Yeah.
they are young. And my heart falls out for them because if you bring them into this world, they didn't ask to come into this world. You bring them into this world, no matter how old they get, no matter what they do in life, whether you agree with what they have done in life or not done in life, those are still your children. Being a mama and a daddy never, never goes away.
You're right.
Never goes away. When you, it hurts to have to bury your parents or bury your siblings or an uncle or a cousin, but it's nothing like having to bury a child of your own. that is a total different hurt. Just like it's a total different feelings. You have your children, you love your children. But when God gives you the greatest gift on earth that a woman can get, and Robin, I hope you still in here and hear this. I hope it sinks in a little bit for you. The greatest gift God can ever give a woman, other than her own children, is her grandchildren. So that you're putting in someone else, if you don't have it to put on your grandchild, but has it to put on another individual out there, I hate to tell you, bitch, you're piss poor grandmama. Now take that and run with it. I said what I said. Because grandchildren is one of the greatest gifts God can give you after you have your own children. Yeah, daddies loves their children. They help produce those children. Some daddies and some mamas. But a mama is different than a daddy. A mama's love is stronger than a daddy's love, unless that daddy has been the one who has raised that baby from the day that baby was born.
The court did happen and it got postponed, Peggy Mama, because of health issues and somebody not being able to travel to the state that Nanny lives in. And so they're trying to make it for virtual. Did I get that right, Nanny?
Yes,
Okay. It's the claims of the health issues, is what it is for the two individuals.
yes. And they got an ER doctor to sign a paper.
Yep.
But you go love your children regardless. But my heart goes out to anyone, um, any young person. I mean, it's just something, my heart goes out to them when I see them supposed to be struggling and in need. But since this has happened to me, it has caused me to pull back from helping a lot that I would love to help. But I don't know anymore whether they're really struggling or if they're just scamming people.
Yeah. The best thing is to do just if you anybody on TikTok, just be there for them like you have been me. Be an ear to talk to and everything else, you know? When it comes to financially, don't I wouldn't on here at all. It's there's people like I've met true friends on here that I have helped and I have had true friends help me and I am very thankful for them, but it's really hard to even want to help your really true friends because it's so easy to be manipulated or thrown in your face or anything of the sort, you know? And it's just,
Well, that's like a lot of people, um, I'll sit on the outside of their lives and listen,
mm-hmm,
and then there's other lives that I will go in.
mm-hmm,
And I was listening to a live last night. A person was live, and I had been around them before, in certain lives, and they was talking about they have searched the dockets of South Carolina trying to get the docket number of this case. Well, due to the facts that they can't find it, they think it's not happening.
A lot of people think that, to be honest. But
But there's a reason they can't find it. And the reason they can't find it is because when it was filed and we went in front of the judge and things was showed and played that took place on July 12th of 2023 after I left your life,
mm-hmm.
the judge felt and my attorney felt in my best interest and for my safety that it would not be put on a public record to be found before having the hearing and the final decision because of things that were sent, videos that had been played, um, places it had been placed on. The judge was worried about my safety. So he did have it blocked where it will not be put on public record at this time. At this time. That's why I haven't showed the court papers. I haven't showed the serving papers. Any of this. I've only spoke on it. But in the meantime of me having to deal with all of this, I've had to deal with certain things in my personal life containing one of my grandchildren. And my head's just been all over the place. But then I get inbox messages sent from an individual on this app, and I have my DM set to only friends can message me. And I never, go and really research when one follows me or anything. And I wish I did, but then again, I'm glad I'm not because of the message that was sent last night.
Oh, it was just last night.
Yes,
Wow.
and I emailed it over this morning to my attorney.
And
But
it was
being,
from like actually her, right? Because I do know people make a lot of accounts that look like hers.
well,
I mean, they would be able to pick it out later on. I'm just saying, a lot of people like to, you know, do that kind of stuff.
Well, see, I don't have her blocked. I don't have the other K blocked.
I mean, you would be able to, well, most, like, we would be able to tell if it was hers or not. It's just, I don't know. Like I said,
But the threat didn't come from her or him.
oh, I didn't know it was a threat. I thought you were talking about a different letter, like, or like the one, her contacting you. I apologize. Sorry.
It was that nosy thing that was in here just a while ago.
Oh, I don't know anything about that. Okay.
You know, she's unchanged her name a million times,
Okay.
and she's got more than one account.
Yeah, threats shouldn't be good, but I don't know. Will you stop?
Um, it wasn't one that I would want sent to you or anyone else, Gina. Um, is what I'm going to say about it. And I've learned also on this app, people who claims they're your friend, they ain't your friend.
I can vouch for that one as well on a lot of aspects.
Mm-hmm. Because there's a certain person, he jumped in my box one time, and afterwards go tell a total different thing than what my life I even said. And then you got those that play up in your face and then get on that thing called Snapchat that I don't even have and be in there talking crap about you. And I ain't even got Snapchat. I don't have Discord. I don't have Reddit. My daughter's got Reddit, and she pulls everything off of Reddit that is posted over there, and it goes right into the file to the attorney's office. I do have Clapper, and the only reason I got Clapper was because they was talking about TikTok going down.
Clapper something else, man.
Man, Clapper is something else. They shit on there I don't even want to see.
I know. You should be there. There needs to be a trigger warning on some of that stuff.
On some of the stuff on Clapper,
Yeah.
they need to put a big trigger warning, a big one. They show shooing. But, you know, I've just been trying to figure out how this here ER doctor can sign that kind of statement when it's not your primary doctor.
My guess is, so this is just my guess, is that she when she went into the ER that day or whatever, she was saying that she was feeling whatever such way, and she probably said that she has to make this trip, and it was their recommendation to not make the trip and probably see a primary doctor or something of first, and to get the approval from that, and then that's probably what the ER doctor signed off of, to, and it's because I mean I can go into an ER and say I'm feeling ever such way. They believe, or whatever. They'll say, yeah, this is your potential symptoms, and then I have to travel here and there, and they're gonna say, well, I wouldn't recommend it. Definitely, climb or contact your primary. And she probably did it. I don't know what the date on that ER doctor visit is, but I'm pretty sure it was probably pretty close to the date of travel.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And so, you don't really be able to get into um, your primary that fast. So you're right, Piggy Mama.
That's the truth. That is the truth. That lady just typed the truth in here.
Yep. They
Um,
they they're good. Yeah.
when it's done 72 hours before the court hearing date.
Yeah. And that's why I said they will. That's, of course, you're having, I don't know what she used for her excuse at that point, but seizures, whatever else, blah, blah, blah. And you can't, it takes a little bit to be able to get into um, the doctors after that. So, of course, they're going to sign off saying, yeah, not recommended for travel or whatever. And,
Well, my daughter, she's 40 years old and she's got three children. One's 19, one's 17, and one's 14. And
mm-hmm.
after she had her last baby, her first baby, she had 39 hours of labor, nine
Oh,
hours of hard pushing. And
mm-hmm.
he didn't weigh but 5 pounds and something.
It's always
So
the smallest ones that are the hardest.
so when my daughter got pregnant with my granddaughter, um, only just her forehead would come out. So they had to take the baby and push her back up in her mama after 42 hours and go into a C section. Well, my
Mm-hmm.
granddaughter weighed over 8 pounds. So when my daughter had her last child, he was over 10 pounds and they done a C section again. They didn't even, they just set a date and she had a C section done. Well, while she was in there, she had herself fixed where she couldn't have any more children. So she kept watching this certain person, showing her little lab thing and her little testes and
Mm-hmm.
all of this kind of stuff. And so my daughter wasn't even sick, y'all. My daughter was not even sick. But she was trying to prove a point to me. Because she said, Mama, since you had your stroke,
Yeah.
those strokes, you don't think like you used to. You just go on a word that a person tells you.
Mm-hmm.
And so she takes her little nappy behind up to the ER in the state that she lives in. And she goes in there and she tells them she's pregnant because they wanted to do an x ray on her back. She hadn't told them that her back was fine. Where she has had back surgery done. She has a metal rod down her back. But
Mm-hmm.
she go in there and tell them her back was hurting her. It's hurting her. Well, when they carried her down the x ray, the X-ray tech asked her was she pregnant, because
Yeah.
if she was pregnant, they couldn't do an X-ray on her. And so she tells the X-ray tech she's pregnant. The X-ray tech and them do, they hauled her right back to the ER. Told the doctor, we can't X-ray this lady, because I'm not going to put my daughter's name out here for her to get harassed like I've been being harassed. Um, we can't do the X-ray on this lady because she's pregnant. And my daughter had gave the X-ray technician numbers of weeks that she was pregnant, right? What the ER doctor do? He writes it on her paperwork that she's pregnant, and told her to take Tylenol, Tylenol, one Tylenol capsule every 12 hours for pain in her back. So she gets that from the hospital, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then she went on Amazon, and she ordered a negative pregnancy test and a positive pregnancy test, fake tests.
Yep.
So she catches her plane and she flies in to the state I live in. Her rental car is waiting on her. She comes to the house. She hands me the pregnancy test that says positive. And here I am. I said, oh my God, there ain't no way. I said, you had your tubes tied. She goes, well, Mama, the doctor said that tubes can come undone. So here I sat just joyful, thinking that I was going to get me a baby. And then she hands me the paper from the ER and it says that she's pregnant. Then I know for sure, in my mind, for sure, and in my heart, for sure, oh, I'm going to be grandmama again. Then she hands me, after I done celebrated this thing, being so excited, something good's coming along again. Next morning, she gets up. She had went to her regular doctor, and they had done all of her blood work and everything. And she hands me the negative test and the test from her doctor. She said, "Now, Mama, see how easy that is to get done." She,
Mm-hmm.
she said, "You at 60 years old could walk in an ER doctor and tell him you're pregnant." She said, "Because a lot of women at 60 years old, if they never had their tubes tied, and the doctor puts them on a birth control and a hormone pill, it
Mm-hmm.
starts their cycle back."
She was asking why she doesn't understand why ER doctors will just put that they're pregnant just because a person says. And normally, what they do is on the documents, it's usually in a part where it says patient states they are pregnant or something of the sort. And that's the part that like Miss Kenisha and stuff leave out. That it's not that there was an actual test done confirming that they're pregnant. It's just the part where she's stating she is pregnant or this and that.
Well, see, like when I had my surgery done in 2021 in a different hospital than what I normally, that I have always used, and they sent me to a whole nother place. They didn't have any of my medical records. The only thing they had was the approval from my oncologist doctor, the approval from my heart doctor, that they approved that I could have the surgery done, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my primary doctor stated that I could have the surgery done. Well, when I went to a different hospital, they didn't have my hospital records because I had never been there before. So they asked me a million questions. Just like Nanny Tracy, she just said they asked her if she was pregnant by any chance. They
Mm-hmm.
didn't ask me any of those kind of questions, at my regular doctors because they know better. And they asked me if I was, and I looked at them. I said, "If I am, I'm gonna be the richest woman on this earth."
Right.
I said, when they had to remove my uterus from cancer, that stopped me right there from having babies. And I was 32 years old when I had to have that done. I said, then when they had to rush me into emergency surgery because my ovaries and some of my large intestines and my cervix was covered in cancer again, I definitely can't have no babies. There ain't no chance in it. I don't even have an egg to give to a donor. So if I am, and y'all find me pregnant in my blood work, please make sure y'all documentation it very well where I can come a millionaire.
Everybody's set for life after that.
Yes, sirree. And they went to laughing at me. They said, "So you've had a partial and then another partial hysterectomy." I said, "Until it come down to a total hysterectomy, everything gone." I said, "There's no way." But the point of it is, I'm trying to get at my daughter. She knows I don't think like I normally did after I've had these strokes. So she was putting it where I could see it and comprehend it better than it being told to me and my brain trying to register it.
Right. We've actually, a lot of us have discussed to doing almost the same thing, that if, we could afford it, that is, to go into the ER right when we're having like a menstrual cycle or something of the sort and just say, I'm pregnant, I'm pretty sure I'm miscarrying, all of that kind of stuff. And that they'll pretty much just put in there, it is because, I mean, she did have a little bit of levels of the HCG, and which is they are so low. I don't know how any. I don't know. They would.
Uh,
I even an ER doctor would have been like, I don't know if it's really to be towards the pregnancy or if it's just chemicals from other stuff and
well, if you take Mucinex, that clears up
yep,
the mucus in your
yep,
chest and head, it will cause you to pop positive
you can, yep,
on
that.
a
And
pregnancy
so
test.
anxiety medicine, some antipsychotic medicine.
Yep.
There was another medicine that I looked up that she said that she had to take at one point. So yeah, it will. They will cause you to have false pregnancies or chemical pregnancies is pretty much what they're called, and they just
Dilantin for seizures will make you pop positive for a pregnancy
yeah,
test because that's what I take is Dilantin.
yeah. So and it's just with
And I find it
her.
funny, when they do all the lab works when I have to go to the hospital or something, and it shows I'm pregnant, but it's the Dilantin that I have to take for the seizures that makes me pop positive. So, and if you take Depakote ER, because it happened with my sister, um, she was on Depakote ER, and it made her start having milk. Just
Mhm.
like if I got to do a puzzle thing.
Oh, it's just to make sure that you're still there.
But she took Depakote ER, and she's way older than I am, and it caused her to develop breast milk.
Hmm.
And she had to put, the breast pads in her bras until they could get her regulated over onto something else. A lot of medications can cause a lot of symptoms
Hey, Nana J.
that really don't even exist, you know? So her pulling all these schemes that she's doing is unreal. Unreal. But I will say this much. If you receive SSI, you, you don't get a ticket to work. You sure don't. If you get that ticket to work and you go to work and you hold out more than 3 months, they remove you off of SSI. And whatever amount that you're making on the job that you're on, it gets deducted from your SSI check.
Up to a certain amount, right? Like, or
Yeah,
like they can work so much without them deducting, though?
no.
No?
Every penny that you receive, you have to report it
Right, right.
to SSI.
Yeah.
Every penny.
And we all know that's not happening.
Nope. She got a 1099 from TikTok. She has not filed the taxes on it. Near
Has she ever filed taxes in her life? I don't think she has.
near a year. All these little fast jobs she had,
From the total
and
dollar.
she received W-2s. If you work one day in a restaurant, you'll receive that W-2 by January 31st.
Yeah, and she know, and we. That's one thing. Last year, I did talk to her about when I was talking to her that she was gonna have to file this and that from that. Oh, whatever it was, the job that she wore the red shirt and everything else, and like I
When
was
she was at
preparing
the
her, and
shelter.
even with the TikTok and all the stuff. But then come this year, she plays stupid, and yeah, we're good.
You
Z
have
Top, how are you?
anything over $600 on Cash App, you have to report it. Anything that comes through PayPal that don't state family,
Yep.
you have to do taxes on.
Yeah, that's why she uses other people's cash apps. She's not dumb.
She got more damn Cash Apps than Cash Apps got cards to deal out.
I don't know. Now she might be in competition with Lisa Richards now, because
Whoa, Lisa.
I know.
Whoa, Lisa. Now, talking now, being you brung up little Lisa, you know, March 30th of 2022.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go on my Facebook page, scroll through the videos, and you'll see my sister-in-law. She passed away from an OD.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Um, she had been clean for 10 years, 10 years off of crackling.
Mm-hmm.
When that child went back on it, she went full head first. They wasn't nothing she wasn't doing.
Yeah.
And if you go to that video and slide the pictures, you'll see the difference in her. Down to the morning that I had picked her up on March 28th from a place, and I had to fight my way out that place to get her out of there. But she had two boys, and I had done it when they was babies, and she was on it.
Mm-hmm.
I raised the oldest one until he was 4 year old, and the youngest one was 3 years old because they was just a year between them, and so they actually feel like my grandchildren. And I had went and picked her up, carried her home, and she told me she says I ain't got nothing on me, sis. I promise you, I ain't got nothing on me. So on March 30th, her oldest son, and youngest son, they was at school. They called me. They had a gut feeling, and they said, Aunt Nene, will you come get me and take me to Mama's house? I don't feel right. I said, yeah, we'll go over there and check on your mama's baby. So I went and checked them out of school. And when I unlocked the back door, because I had a key to her house, and walked in her house, she was laying between her living room and her kitchen. And I didn't tell them because I didn't want to frighten them. I just told them to take my phone and call 911, get an ambulance to the house as soon as possible. So the ambulance got there, and when the ambulance came in, I told the two boys to step outside where the ambulance would have room to get them. And I told them, I said, do not cover her in front of them other than put the sheet across her chest and her legs. I said, do not say a word until I can get them to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So they carried her out, had oxygen on her, everything on her. But they carried her out, put her in the ambulance. I called her dad because her mother had just passed away in 2021 in June. And once her mom passed away, oh God, did that poor child get out there then. And so I called her dad. Her dad met me at the hospital. Well, he had them to take her upstairs in ICU and do everything they could to bring his daughter back. They even put life support on her. And on August 30th, she was gone. And every time Lisa pops up on my For You page, or I'll be strolling and she shows up, I follow the girl. I follow the girl. I do. And I do go in her lives. Do I donate to her? No, I do not. Do I send her gifts? No, I do not. But I will go in there and I'll say, "Hey Lisa, how you doing?" Um, and I'll wait a little while and she'll answer me. Then I'll say, "You doing okay today? You sure you okay, Lisa?" And people be so mean talking about that child, discussing her looks.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you don't have to be on rugs to have problems with your teeth. You can have problems with your teeth from being pregnant or other health problems. I mean, and they be saying all kind of ugly stuff to her, and I'll be wishing I could reach through this here little app that each person that tells her to go ahead and unalive herself or go ahead and OD. ooh, I want to reach through there and just slap them. Just slap them. Because what
Yeah.
if that was your child?
People don't think that far ahead. They don't think about what if it was them or this or that, you know? Yeah, what Lisa is doing is very triggering and very um but to it's saying stuff like that also is just bringing more attention to her and more people to her at the end of the day.
Yep.
It
Showing
really is.
and when they putting the plugs name in the chats,
Yep.
if you ain't never dealt with someone who is in an active addiction
Mhm.
and you actually have to walk into a plug's house and pay to get a loved one out, sit down, sit down. Or you have to get out here on these streets and go in areas all the time, just hunting your loved one for their children. They don't know what that is.
Mhm.
And them getting on that doggone Facebook, tracking that plug down, sending that plug messages and stuff, and putting that girl's name in it. Do they know they target that girl, all of her children, her parents, her siblings, her nieces, her nephews?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, they don't care about anybody's life. The plug meaning, right? They don't care what if they give somebody their last pill or anything of the sort, as long as they're getting their money. And then you bring them into it the way that, yeah, it's no.
You know, I'll ask her how she's doing. I'll tell her I'm praying for you because even when they type into the chat of resources, okay, at the state that she is at, when they put in resources, that triggers her that much more.
Yeah.
Because until she herself, it's going to take her herself. It don't matter how many times they get her banned, how many cash apps, how many PayPals, or anything else they get taken down. She's going to come right back.
Yep.
And until she gets to the point that she wants the help and she reaches out and asks for the help, nobody can do anything. And everybody's thinking that she's at her rock bottom.
She's not yet.
She's not.
Mm-mm.
That girl is a lot stronger than what people think she is. She's got determination in her to get
Mm-hmm.
on this app, even with these here ugly people making ugly comments to her every day.
Yep.
And I've heard her say time and time again, I'll be the one to get on here and embarrass myself. Because she's not asking just for herself. She's asking for another person too.
I, yeah, I agree with you, hippie. There, like I don't. Hey, Miss Country. I don't agree that they keep restreaming. I just don't because it's just bringing so much more attention to her and everything else. And I know Miss Jess will say she got all kinds of stuff to say about that kind of stuff here.
You know, and it's another thing that's getting to me on this app. Okay, I understand awareness. People putting out awareness, right? But like a lot of these awareness pages, do you have to sit there and string that girl the whole time? No, you don't. Do you have to allow? Do do you have to sit there and allow people to sit in your chat and you stringing somebody else make ugly comments? To me, that's not awareness. That's bullying. That is downgrading a person.
Mm-hmm. Well, and also it's clout chasing in some aspects. You know, there's a big difference. I know people say that that's what I do is I clout chase or whatever. Blah 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 blah. Did I spend multiple hours on certain individual talking about her? I have. I absolutely have. And it's
Well,
just
I
because.
ain't talking about that kind of awareness
Yep. Yep. No, I know. But I'm just saying, like that's what
because she
people say
ain't in
about
an
me.
active addiction.
No. But
But
yeah.
when you see a person who is in an active addiction,
Yep.
I don't think that person should be streamed.
Yeah, hippie, you're correct. I seen that.
I don't think that that person should be streamed. I don't think that awareness page, and I ain't gonna call no name, but to buy followers to keep this person on the app, come on. That's like they're cheering
Holy
them on. Like they want to keep her on this app to watch her not be here on this earth anymore.
At the end of the day, there are a few people on here like that that don't care, that they thrive. This is their entertainment. There's a few people. There was this one guy, I think Queen of All Trades is the one, reposted him. He actually admitted that that Lisa's the highlight of his day. He gets off of work and that's the highlight of his day. He's coming on here watching her cry and beg and this and
Yep.
that. And
I seen that myself.
yeah, and
I seen him say that. And you know where he's at? In my block list.
yeah.
In my block list. Because that's jacked up. That is jacked up. If you ain't never had to pop one with Norcan, if you ain't had to get on your hands and knees and do CPR and chest compressions to save a person's life,
Mm-hmm.
that's jacked up to do them that way. I go in her live. I go in her live because I see my sister-in-law that passed away. She was the exact same way. And I go in there just to sit and make a comment every now and then to her. You know, when you constantly criticize someone that's in her condition, a lot of people says it's illness. A lot of people says it's a choice to use. Yes, in my opinion, it is a choice. Where it turns into a disease is where it has affected the person's mind so much and has killed cells, then it turns into a mental disease. Then it turns into a mental disease. But from the start of it, no, that's a choice you made. Just like I make a choice whether I'm going to pick up a Pepsi Cola and drink it. It's a choice whether I'm going to pick up a cigarette and smoke it. It's a choice because I don't drink. That's one thing I don't do. But if I chose to do so, that would be a choice I made. And but the problem of it is, once they get that feeling, what they don't realize when you're using crackling, the very first time you ever use it, it puts you on a high, and the next time you use it, you're not going to get that same effect.
Mm-mm.
So all it's going to make you do is chase your very first effect.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll chase it more and more and more, trying to get that very first effect.
Yes, ma'am. And then a lot of people chase it because it really it turns your feelings off. It turns your feelings off. You don't have to feel. You don't have a care in the world about anything else. You don't have to feel any sadness you had before. And then once you start feeling those feelings again, that's what takes you over the edge.
That's right. Once you feel that feeling again, that you actually start feeling the pain
Yep.
and the heartache that got you to go do it to begin with, and that pain starts hitting you, you go jump up, and that's the first thing you go hunt.
Yep.
That's the first thing you go hunt. Something to numb the hurt.
Right, Jess.
That's right, Raggedy Southern. If I can just say one person in life, one person, because I know what it is to lose somebody that you love. My sister in law was only 38 years old, and I had known her ever since she was 2 years old before she ever married my baby brother. So I had known her all of her life. And so, yeah, I was going to put up that fight for her. I was going to fight for her kids. But if she was leaving today, though, she'd tell you that she could call me to come get her, and her be in a very bad place. And I'd drive dead up there, wouldn't think twice about jumping out. But if she ever asked me for $1, I'd tell her, you need some food. I'll go get you some food. Let's go through McDonald's. Let's go through KFC. Whatever you want to eat, I'll buy it for you to eat.
Yeah, and some people don't agree with that aspect of it because they think, I mean, I do, but some people don't think because then if you're buying them the food, that's saving them the whatever money they do get to not buy food and buy the other stuff. But if you think about it at the end of the day, they aren't going to buy that food anyways.
They're not going to eat food if you don't buy food for them.
Yeah, it's.
And now I could go get her, and she'd want me to get her a 8-piece Kentucky Fried Chicken bucket and two of the family size mashed potatoes and gravies.
Mm-hmm.
And this here little nut, she would take and empty the mashed potatoes on top of the chicken and the gravy on top of it.
Oh, I did
And
the
she,
same.
and,
Absolutely.
and she would tote the bucket underneath her arm, no matter where she was going, underneath her arm. And she'd be eating.
There's
And
nothing better than gravy and mashed potatoes all over that chicken.
and when she first got on crackling, that girl back in high when she was in high school with my niece and nephew, she was like
Went through
250
5
some.
cents a break.
Then she dropped down to 135 pounds. When she passed away, she weighed exactly 60 pounds.
You see Nana Tracy's story? She said she went through five sets of brake pads in a year, meaning that's how many times she said that she needed new brakes to get money.
And you didn't have to buy the warranty pads either, did you, Nanny Tracy?
They didn't question nothing. Yeah.
That's like my little sister-in-law. She you could buy her a pack. She only wanted Newports. You could buy her a pack of Newport cigarettes, and she'd open that pack, and she may smoke one out that pack. Then she'd take them, put them in the very bottom of her pocketbook, right? And I'd just be bought her that pack of cigarettes. When she'd get to where her daddy was at on the job site, I'd take her by the job site because she'd want to see her daddy. She'd tell her daddy, Daddy, I ain't got no cigarettes. And he'd say, Crystal, I ain't got no money to give you. And I'd sit there and laugh, And he'd go to his truck. He'd say, But I do have a pack of Newports I'd give you. And her and my brother was divorced, when he passed away. And he's been off of it ever since 2007. And he even moved out of South Carolina and moved to another state where he wouldn't be around the people that he knew. And so he'd give her a pack of cigarettes. Then I'd go by where my brother worked at, and she'd tell my brother before they got divorced, Hey, I ain't got no cigarettes. And he was done off with the stuff. She'd say, Hey, I ain't got no cigarettes. He'd say, Hey, yeah, I got some in my back pocket. You can have this here pack. And he would walk around with a full pack of cigarettes at all time. Even though that was his wife, he wouldn't hand her no cash.
And see, and at the end of the day, this is a way if people really want to think on do they really are people really wanting help on this app or money, okay? If you say, a grocery pickup, something like that, or I can do this and that, something that's giving the thing directly. And if they make every excuse in the book, then it's not. They just want the money for other reasons, right? Sometimes there is legit excuses. However, if you are really, really, really needing food, you are not going to deny a grocery pickup at all. You are not going to deny somebody bringing you a pack of cigarettes.
That's
And people need to stop and think. And then, but if you're also seeing that same person on here every single day needing to buy food for their daughter or needing a pack of cigarettes, this and that, then you are now knowing that they are now depending on the world of TikTok to provide everything for them.
well,
Okay.
when you got those that's sitting on here every single day asking for a motel room
Mm-hmm.
or pay for the motel before they have to get out at 11 o'clock the next morning.
Yes, and you can't say they're not hiring, they won't do this now. Some motels won't, but you know what? You get your ass up and you fucking do something. You find something. You don't just sit there. You sitting there in front of a phone saying this and that is doing nothing more. You can make so much more. You go out there and say, "Hey, can I mow your lawn? I don't have a mower, but if you have a mower, I can mow your lawn." Or this and that. Like people are going to see that you were actually trying to make an honest dollar. They are more than likely to help you.
Girl, back in the day when I was young and I needed to make $1 because my mama and daddy, they didn't believe in giving us kids money. We done our chores that they told us to do. We didn't run from neighbor to neighbor's house. None of that kind of stuff. Because my mama was Pentecostal holiness. That real strict stuff. And she, in the summertime, I went to my papa's and I worked in hay fields, tobacco fields, bean fields, pea fields, okra fields, corn fields. And on Sunday, I hooked a string to his steering wheel of his truck, had the back of the truck loaded with hay, steered that truck, and kicked those bales of hay off, cut the cord on them, kicked them off as I was going down the hill, and hope I was fast enough once I got them kicked off to swing my body around on the inside of that window to hit the brakes to keep from going in the pond. But like wintertime and stuff, people want you to clean out their flower beds and stuff like that.
Dog poop. Cleaning up
Oh,
dog poop is a big one that people want.
yeah. And wash their windows. Go to their dog kennels that has the coon dogs. Where I live at, they do a lot of coon hunting and fox hunting. They'll pay you to go wash their kennels. They sure will. I done it a many a time. A many a time. Because my mama and daddy told me, if you want money in your pocket, you will work for it. Just cause we your mom and daddy, that don't mean we your bank. It's what my mom and daddy always told me. And so I had to learn how to work. My mama, I can remember my mama standing me up in a kitchen chair when I was 4 years old and teach me how to make homemade biscuits. And if they come out that oven hard, she threw them out the door to the dog, and I had to redo them until I got them right.
Right.
Hey, Cece, baby. But my mama was very strict. My daddy, he never knowed how to read and write. We thought he was reading us storybooks. He was reading from the picture. He would look at the picture and make up his own words. And believe it or not, I didn't know that until I was 18 years old. But my daddy, you could put any kind of math in front of him and he could do it. He owned his own construction company for a while. He could build any kind of house you wanted. My daddy retired after 30 years of being a mechanic for Fort Roofing out of Sumter, South Carolina. He was there for 30 years. My daddy, my two brothers that passed away last year, the one that passed in April and then the one that passed in July, 4 months apart. They was 11 months and 4 days between them two. He didn't ever make them get out there and get underneath a hood of a car and work. But he did me. I'd go fishing, I'd go hunting with my daddy.
Mm-hmm.
And we would sell watermelons off the back of his truck. And for every watermelon that I helped him sell, I made 25 cents off that watermelon. But with poor Lisa, I mean, it's sad to see how people talks to her. That's what gets to me the worst, is how people talks to her. She is a human.
Yep.
She is a human being.
And we
you
know
know,
that she doesn't say good stuff in return sometimes. And that's just part of her addiction. That's part of her, manipulating also to try to get what she needs for her addiction. So,
yep. But I won't donate to her, and I won't. I don't send her money. I don't tap her screen and like her screen. I don't send her a gift, but I will go in there and be kind to her with a comment. And y'all want to know why she cutting her comments off in there? Why Lisa started cutting her comments off?
um, I have feelings, but I'm not exactly sure why she really started doing it.
Because I messaged her and told her. I said, Lisa, when they start being ugly to you and getting you riled up and making fun of you, cut your comments off. If they can't comment, they'll just have to sit there like they babysitting you.
Yeah.
I said, girl, cut your comments off. I did tell that child to do that.
I mean, it does help with the algorithm thing or whatever, so it doesn't, push it. But I don't know.
But with this other that me and you was talking about earlier,
Mm-hmm.
it just floored me, my attorney, even the judge. Even the judge was floored.
Yeah, I would definitely request, if they're going to continue that it needs to be done by, I don't know what she used for her health issues, but it needs to be done by a doctor that is looking over her, supervising her.
Yeah, hell, I'll pay for a doctor visit for her. I told the judge that. I said, I'll pay for a doctor visit. I said, but I want a full physical
Mm-hmm.
when I pay for it.
She wouldn't do it because she knows it would be your doctor and you choose that it would get,
No,
you'd probably get a clean bill of health.
I would let the judge pick the doctor.
Yeah. But I mean, even
But
if she can't pick it, that's why she wouldn't do it.
well, it wouldn't be where I could pick it or she could pick it.
Yeah.
I'd said it, I told the judge, y'all pick it and I'll pay for it.
Did they think about when's they would be able to reschedule it?
They hoping to get it scheduled by next month.
No, awesome.
Yeah,
That's good, Juju. Like I said, that's kind of the only way you can heal a heart sometimes is when you lose one, you rescue another. They had to put her kitty down on Monday, so
who's kidding?
Juju's kitty, they had to put her
Oh.
kitty down.
Yeah, last year before last, when I had to put my um, dog down that I had for 17 years. I mean, she never left my property. She'd walk my property line, never go off of it. You drive up, you better blow that horn because that little thing will get your leg. She guarded this house left and right, and I had to have her put down
Mhm.
because she got where she couldn't, move her back in or anything. And she started soiling herself and couldn't get herself up. So I loaded her up and carried her to my vet and had her put down. And I had contacted the funeral home that does cremations of pets also. And they came over and I told them, I said, don't come in no van, don't come in no car to get my baby. I said, you better come in a hearse to load my baby because she's not a animal. She is a family member. And I paid to have